Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today we are diving headfirst into Rassie Erasmus's latest Springboks selection. The 5 big takeaways, really.
Yeah, this is the squad for that massive Rugby Championship clash against Argentina.
Exactly. And, after that incredible win against the All Blacks, which, let's be honest, felt like a tactical masterclass, this selection feels, well, different. It's more than just rewarding form, isn't it?
I think so. It feels like this is where he starts really laying down markers for what he means by consistency.
And nailing down those formidable partnerships he keeps talking about. Looking ahead to the World Cup, maybe.
For sure. So our mission today is to kind of unpack the thinking, the tactics hidden in these player choices.
Definitely. And hey, before we jump in, just a quick reminder, make sure you hit subscribe to Rugby Obsession. You don't want to miss out on our deep dives into these crucial strategic calls.
Absolutely. Now, this selection, I think you've got to see it as fundamentally pragmatic.
Pragmatic? How so? After such a dominant win.
Well, that All Blacks win was, sensational. But Rassie and the team, they know the Pumas are a totally different beast.
Right. Different threats.
Exactly. Argentina, they bring pace, they play with width, and their aerial game. It's one of the best, genuinely.
Okay, so the Boots need, what, stability, aerial dominance.
Both. And that's the fascinating thing here. You see Erasmus trying to counter that immediate Puma threat, but like you said, he's also got one eye firmly on shaping the team for 2027.
It's a real high-stakes juggling act, then. Present results, future planning.
Precisely. Victory now, a vision for later.
Okay, let's start with the backline, then. There's this talk of stability, of consistency after kind of steadying the ship against New Zealand.
Yeah, on the surface, it looks incredibly consistent back there.
The official line is just one change, right? And it's injury enforced because Afli Fassi is out.
Correct. But that one change, well, it forces quite a significant tactical rejig.
Ah, okay. Tell us about that.
Well, Fassi's absence means Damien Diolande comes into the scenario.
It codifies the midfield.
It does. And that, in turn, pushes Damien Willemse from center back to fullback. So he's lining up there alongside Kanan Moody on the wing.
So you see the philosophy right there. Consistency, sure, but also adapting strategically.
Absolutely. Diolande, first and foremost, he brings that defensive rock-solid presence.
Which you need against Argentina.
Definitely. Against an Argentine backline that loves to strike fast from turnovers, loves those sharp inside lines. Having Dilande's experience, his defensive clout in that channel, it just stabilizes the whole midfield.
So it's less about who got injured and more about what job needs doing defensively.
I think that's a great way to put it. Willemse at 15, yeah, he offers that extra kicking option and attacking threat from deep, sure. But bringing Diolande in signals a real focus on containment, line speed, shutting them down early.
Makes sense. And what about the guys missing out? Like Jesse Creel again. Is this part of that balancing act, managing the older players out?
Well, yeah, this is where it gets really tricky for Erasmus, isn't it? He insists he still values experienced guys like Creel.
But he's not getting picked.
He's not getting picked again. And look, these repeated omissions of established names, they do confirm the team is evolving, it's moving on.
He has to manage that transition carefully, though.
Yeah.
Can't sacrifice results now for the future.
No way. Not in the Rugby Championship. So he's sending a very clear message, I think. Every selection is tailored to the opponent. And against Argentina's quick transition attack, stability wins over flair in that starting midfield.
Okay, so the back line. Calculated risk, adaptation. What about the front 5? That feels like the opposite.
Oh, absolutely. If the back line is calculated risk, the front 5 is, well, it's pure, unadulterated certainty.
It's been the most consistent area, hasn't it? Just dominating everyone, crushing scrums.
It's the absolute bedrock of this Springbok team. It's the foundation everything else is built on. It's probably why Rassie feels he can rotate a bit at fly half.
Because that foundation is so solid.
Undeniable. Look at that front row partnership. Oxnedge, Malcolm Marks, and Dutoit, who seems really settled now at tight head, doesn't he, since round 2?
Yeah, he looks the part.
And that consistency in selection, it's just bred this terrifying mix of power and technical skill.
The advantage they get there is huge. I remember last year, the All Blacks actually competed pretty well at scrum time against the Boks.
They did.
But the recent tests, it felt like total dominance. Psychological, technical, just dominance.
Huge difference. And it's not just about winning penalties, though that helps. It's about control, momentum.
And then you connect that to the engine room, even Etzebeth.
Yeah, lock him in, pun intended. If his body holds up, he's on the plane to the World Cup, no question.
He guarantees that baseline of performance, doesn't he?
He does. which means the only real selection question right now is who partners him in the second row.
And Ruan Norchi seems to have stepped up massively there.
Hasn't he just?
Yeah.
Stepped up superbly. And his emergence, it's directly linked to the lineout improving.
Which was a bit of a worry earlier in the season, surprisingly.
It was, yeah. So Norchi hasn't just filled a jersey. He's actually helped fix a technical issue. That's impressive.
And then you think about the backup. Luke de Jager, RG Snyman.
It's quality, isn't it? Immense presence from de Jager. Tactical flexibility from Snyman. It just shows how stacked South Africa are in that tight five.
They're not just deep, it's like specialized depth. He can pick and choose based on the opposition or the conditions.
Exactly. Tailor the bench perfectly.
Right. Let's move to the big one, the key decision makers. Number 10, Sacha versus Manie.
The fly half debate.
Erasmus has gone with the young gun, Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, starting over Manie Libbok. 23 years old. Is this the defining selection? Is Sacha really the immediate future?
Look, it certainly raises a huge tactical question. And, we have to say, it does feel incredibly harsh on Libbok.
Doesn't it, Jessica?
Yeah.
Yes. He was genuinely superb off the bench in Wellington, showed amazing bounce-back ability after all that pressure.
Immense pressure. I think we all remember the scrutiny he was under earlier this year.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just the place-kicking people were questioning. It was game control, too.
And that intercept pass, the one in the Johannesburg disaster against the Wallabies.
Yeah, that felt like it could have been the end of his Test career right there.
It really did. So the mental strength he showed to come back from that, get back in the squad, and then perform like he did in Wellington, it says a lot about his character.
Absolutely. So why Sacha now?
Well, I think the insight here is what Erasmus prioritizes long-term. Tactical control, risk mitigation.
Okay.
Libbok, yeah, he gives you that attacking spark, that flair. But Sacha perhaps offers more consistent game management, maybe a specific type of defensive organization out wide, and crucially, high-quality clearance kicking under pressure.
Which against Argentina's counterattack.
Exactly. Rassie wants a general at 10 who can dictate the flow, control territory, and make sure they don't, overplay their hand and invite pressure.
So it's less about who's the quote-unquote best fly half right now.
And more about who fits the strategy for this game and perhaps the longer-term vision of avoiding those tactical implosions we've sometimes seen.
Makes sense. The rotation will continue, though, presumably. Pollard's still around.
Oh, absolutely. Handré Pollard will definitely get his opportunities. But the significant game time, the backing given to Feinberg-Mngomezulu, it strongly suggests the coaches see this 23-year-old as potentially the first-choice guy by the World Cup.
So this start against the Pumas is a massive test for him. High pressure.
Huge test, a chance to validate that potential on a big stage.
Okay, before we get to the scrum halves, just a quick reminder, folks. If you want analysis that helps you really get under the skin of these selections, understand the why behind the who, make sure you're subscribed to Rugby Obsession.
Yeah, we promise to keep bringing you these deep dives, connecting the dots between the team sheet and what happens on the pitch.
Right then, scrum half, we see rotation here too. Morn Vandenberg comes back into the 23.
Yep, replacing Grant Williams on the bench this time.
Vandenberg hasn't actually featured in the Rugby Championship yet this year, has he? Despite being in the mix.
No, he hasn't. He's been competing hard with Kobus, Reineck, and Williams for those spots. So this inclusion, I think it's partly a reward for his consistent form outside the championship. He had some strong performances mid-year.
But tactically?
Yeah.
Why him against Argentina specifically?
Good question. I think tactically, his skill set matches up really well against the Pumas' threats.
How so? What does he bring?
Well, his box kicking is genuinely top tier.
Crucial in the modern game.
Absolutely critical, especially for territorial gain against a team like Argentina that defends that backfield so aggressively. A precise box kick lets the box exit cleanly without exposing their back three to an immediate counter.
Okay, what else?
His speed around the fringes, his support lines, they're excellent. And importantly, his speed of ball away from the base. That was maybe a slight work on last year.
I remember some chat about that.
Yeah, but it seems markedly improved now. He looks smoother, a quicker link between that dominant pack and the new fly half.
And meanwhile, Kobus Reineck keeps the starting jersey after playing well in Wellington.
Yeah, he provides that vital experience, that tempo control, alongside the young Feinberg-Mngomezulu. It's a specific kind of control they're looking for with that pairing, I reckon.
It really is an embarrassment of riches at number 9, isn't it?
It truly is. When you list the names Reineck, Vandenberg, Grant Williams, and you've still got Faf de Klerk waiting in the wings.
So much quality.
And they all offer something slightly different. Different tempos, different tactical options. That depth means Rassie is never reliant on just one type of scrum half. He can change things up mid-game if needed.
Adapt if the Pumas try and speed things up, for example.
Precisely. Huge advantage.
Okay, let's circle back to the overall style of play. After that win against New Zealand, there was a lot of praise, especially from Kiwi pundits, about the Springboks playing this more expansive style.
Yeah, I saw some of that commentary.
Was that, a genuine shift, an offensive revolution? Or was the adventure just, a result of doing the hard yards first?
Yeah, look, while the tries they scored were absolutely glorious.
Some stunners in there.
Oh, yeah. And they did shift the ball really well, caused all sorts of problems. But the success was still very much rooted in the fundamentals. The adventure was earned, I'd say, not necessarily mandated from the start.
Okay, so let's get tactical again. What were those specific non-negotiable fundamentals that allowed the flair to happen?
Well, set-piece dominance, obviously. We've covered that. That was number one.
Right, the foundation.
But the other massive factor was their aerial presence. They only really cut loose and scored those fantastic open field tries in the second half.
After they'd won the aerial battle.
Exactly. Only after they'd successfully started retaining possession from their own kicking game, you saw Ethan Hooker and the wingers getting up high, getting above the All Blacks' back three, securing that ball.
Okay. So winning the ball back from kicks gave them the platform.
Absolutely. That sustained possession, built first on winning the aerial contest, that's what eventually broke down the All Blacks' defense. The flair came later, as a reward for winning territory and possession battles first.
So the big strategic lesson here remains pretty simple then. Avoid, at all costs, a repeat of the Johannesburg farce.
Oh, 100%. That defeat to the Wallabies was the ultimate cautionary tale, wasn't it?
Painful viewing.
That was the game where they got expansive way too early. They overplayed their hand, it completely imploded, and just let Australia run in. That was it, 38 unanswered points.
Something like that. Just fell apart.
Yeah. Erasmus has basically said that cannot happen again. And this selection, relying on Dalen's defense, choosing Sacha's control at 10, banking on that powerhouse front five, it's all designed to hammer home the importance of those fundamentals.
Scrum, line-out, aerial battle. Win those first.
Win those first. They absolutely need to ensure this isn't an after the Lord Mayor's show kind of performance against Argentina. This team is built for controlled aggression, not careless abandon.
Okay, so wrapping this up, synthesizing what we've discussed, it feels like Erasmus is really cementing that formidable consistency in the pack. That's the platform.
Definitely the non-negotiable platform.
And then he's strategically developing the future at fly half, showing real faith in Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu.
Yeah, it's that perfect illustration, isn't it? Balancing tactical pragmatism for the here and now with clear long-term development goal.
It's getting immediate results while planning for the long haul, making sure they have the tools like the box kicking, the defensive structure to deal with specific threats like Argentina's pace.
Exactly right. Mitigating risk while building for the future.
So we want to hear from you listening. What's your take? What aspect of this selection stands out most to you? Is it that undeniable set-piece dominance that everything else relies on?
Or is it the continued rotation and development at fly half, looking towards 2027? Which do you think is the biggest strength heading into this Argentina game?
Let us know your thoughts, your opinions, drop us a comment. And of course, if you've enjoyed this deep dive, please do subscribe to Rugby Obsession. Keep getting this level of analysis.
We'd love to hear what you think.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.